So I have just gotten out of the shower. I put my moisturizer on, and we're gonna do a little first impressions here of the Elcie Micro Silk Foundation. I'm sure you guys have heard of this from the same person I did, which is Jaclyn Hill. I love her videos, and I love a lot of her recommendations. So I'm really excited to try this out. If you don't know what kind of skin type I have because you're new to my channel, or maybe I mentioned it and you missed it, I'm pretty combo skin. I have a little bit of dryness kind of around my nose, on my nose, but then I'm also oily in my T-zone. So I'm hoping it'll be a good foundation for me with the hot weather and my combo skin. So I'm gonna start off with a primer. I always prime my skin with no matter what foundation I use. And currently I'm using the Hangover RX by Too Faced. You can see this is well loved. It's almost completely gone. I really love this primer so much. It has coconut oil or coconut water in it, electrolytes, antioxidants, probiotics. It's just a really great primer. And it smells like coconuts too, so I really like that. I haven't self-tanned in like 3 weeks. I do have a little bit of a tan just from being out at the lake. So I'm gonna go with sand. It might still be a little bit, it might be a little dark, I'm not too sure. It does come in a nice frosted glass bottle with the pump, and yeah, we're just gonna get going with this. So it matches my hand pretty well. Like when I get tan, I definitely get more of a like golden tan, I guess, versus like getting really red, except for my chest gets kind of red. But anyways, it seems like a pretty creamy foundation. I don't know really much about it other than she liked it, so I was willing to give it a shot. You guys are like that, right? You see somebody talk about it, something that you enjoy watching their videos, talk about a product, and you're like, oh, I just find that every time they talk about products, I end up going shopping. That's kind of how it is. How it is for me. I have a few YouTubers that, you know, if they talk about a product that they really love, it's like, okay, pause, go buy it. So, okay, I did one pump, and that covered about half of my face, but I can definitely still see my skin peeking through, which I kind of like. So it's not super full coverage. I think this is like, would be light to medium coverage almost. Because yeah, there's definitely like a lot of my skin, like the pink in my cheeks poking through, and that was one full pump. So I'm gonna do another pump on this side. And I just like using a beauty blender. You know, sometimes you can get a little bit fuller coverage using a brush, but I find that the brush, I don't like the way the foundation sits on my skin with a brush. I just love the way the beauty blender just kind of melts it into the skin more. It doesn't look as makeup-y in my opinion. So I just always go for a beauty blender unless I'm using like a real serum foundation, like my Perricone MD foundation or the Dior Nude foundation. And I would say it's medium coverage. Yeah, I'd say it's medium coverage. I have like a red spot, and I have for a really long time on the side of my nose right here. I can still see that. I can still see my blemish, and I still see a lot of the pink in my cheeks. So I'm gonna go in with another pump. So this is pump number 3. And I'm gonna just try to build up on some of these places and see how if you can build up the coverage at all. It looks really pretty on the skin. It's got a nice finish. So let's see if we can build it up a little bit. I'll build up this side with the beauty blender, and then I'll grab a brush and we'll try the other side with the brush. This is a Urban Decay optical blurring brush. I'm not really noticing much of a difference between building up with the brush or building up with the beauty blender. I don't feel like the beauty blender really absorbs that much extra product unless it's a super liquidy foundation. So it does build up a little bit. You definitely can build it up to a little bit fuller coverage. It's by no means a full coverage foundation. I would say it's a pretty medium, even kill medium foundation. but I like the way it looks on the skin. I'm gonna take what was left on the back of my hand and blend it down my neck a little bit, because my neck is a little bit pink. It just always is. My neck doesn't really tan. My neck and chest just never tans. So blend it down. Either does my face. Yeah, I mean, it looks really pretty on the skin. It definitely has a little bit of a luminous, like you can see there's a little bit of like a glow coming off my cheekbones and stuff. So it's not completely matte, which I like. I don't mind that it's not a super full coverage foundation, because I don't need a super full coverage foundation, especially in the summer, because it's just gonna melt off. It's 106 in the summer here, so it's way too hot. But I really like the finish of it. I probably could have gone a shade lighter than sand. The thing about the website is it's really hard to figure out what shade. There's no real descriptions of what shades are or how they go from lightest to darkest. So it's really, really difficult, I find, to try to figure out what shade you are. But I mean, I think this will work because I'm just gonna get a little bit darker. Not too sure how tan I'm gonna have to be to use this natural shade because it's pretty dark. But overall, application blended really nice with the Beauty Blender. I love the finish of it. It's not like a real drying matte finish, but it's not super glowy and super dewy and luminous, but it does have a little bit of that natural skin finish. So far, love the application. It's currently 8:52, so I'm going to finish up with the rest of my makeup and then I'll check back in and we'll see how everything applied on top of the foundation. So I'll be back in just a little bit. I'm here with a check-in. I totally have been taking way too long to get ready this morning. It's 10:51 and everything applied really nicely over the foundation. I did some cream blush, some cream highlighter, cream bronzer, and it all really went on really nicely and easily over the foundation as well as powder products. Now that it has kind of set a little bit, I did set my under eye and my T-zone with the Tarte Smooth Operator because I always have to set my under eye concealer, and I just set my T-zone. But I can already tell it's got like a little bit of a glowy, I don't know, a glowy finish to it. It's not as matte as I thought it was going to be, or as satin matte as I thought it was going to be. So there's definitely a little bit of a luminous glow, which I don't mind. I did use a little bit of highlight, kind of strobing, but let's be real, I also contoured. But yeah, I mean, I got some serious highlight going on. I used the Becca Jaclyn Hill collaboration, the Champagne Pop, and sometimes I go a little overboard, but I don't mind. I like the glowy look. So I did put that on my cheekbones. I think I did put a little bit on the tip of my nose. So some of that shine or glow you might see is from this. But the foundation looks really nice. So I'm gonna check back in a little bit and let you know what I think. All right, I am here with a check-in. It is 1:16 and I love the way that it looks. My blush and my highlight and my bronzer, everything is still intact. It is a little bit glowy or dewy right around the side of my nose. You can see right there. It's just a little bit shiny. If you have super, super oily skin, I don't know how you would love this because it's only been on for a few hours, and I definitely do notice some areas getting a little bit shiny-ish. So I haven't really been outside much or doing anything other than filming and working on my computer, so it hasn't been like a super hot day or any strenuous activity. So I really like the way that it looks still on the skin though, even though it is a little bit shiny. So I'm going to just take some translucent powder. This is the Tarte Micronized Smooth Operator, I don't know, just their loose powder. And I'm going to use my Beauty Blender. It's still a little bit damp, and I'm just going to kind of blot that up a little bit right along the side. I didn't really apply very much powder or anything to my T-zone this morning. I just kind of lightly set my under eye area, and then whatever was left on my brush, I just kind of put, in my T-zone. But that instantly matted that down and along my forehead. So we'll see how long I'm good for with that little touch up. But other than that, the makeup is still in place. My blemishes are still covered. It looks really great on the skin. So I will check in a few hours and we'll see how it's holding up. We'll see if this kept it matte for the rest of the time or if it kind of starts to get oily again. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I'm here for a check-in and it is 4:55. I don't feel like I've had this foundation on for very long. Ethan is cleaning up Legos and I am so oily. Can you see that? This is crazy. I'm zooming in. Look at that. Like massive oil issues. Like everything looks oily. Not even just my T-zone, just everything is greasy. I feel super greasy. I'm really bummed because I wanted this to be, I mean, it's long wearing as far as it's not broken down at all, but it is so oily. Like I'm massively greasy. It even feels, oh, can you see that? It even feels really oily and greasy. So I'm a little bummed. I'm gonna have to wash this off because I do have a party to go to tonight and I don't really wanna just blot it and then like apply more because when I did that, just applying a translucent powder, it really just got 10 times more greasy. So this will be my final check-in for the day. The coverage is beautiful. The initial like application is really pretty, but as it wore out through the day, I just got really oily. So I haven't been outside. It's been indoors. AC's been on, so I'm not like exposed to extreme heat or anything. So I'm a little disappointed with this foundation. I'm not gonna lie. If you have really dry skin, I think you might like it. If you have oily skin, this is gonna be a mess for you. I feel like my skin has been pretty normal, pretty just regular, not dry, not oily, pretty combo normal. And I just feel like everything is really shiny and feels really oily. So that's gonna be my final check-in, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you've tried this foundation, I'd love to know your thoughts, how it wore on you. Maybe it'll wear better with a mattifying primer, I'm not too sure. But yeah, that was my first impressions. I hope you guys have a great day and I'll talk to you later. Bye.